Hello, 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 hello. Good to see you.
Aangenaam. Kijk jy wel lekker sitplek, wil jy hier voor sit?
Ek sit hier af.
Happy? Okay, cool. Cobus, kom sit.
Is it?
Okay, see. Okay, we are going to take 4 questions from SA, and then we'll switch off the link after the 10 minutes, and then the questions will be from the floor. Right? Okay. Cool. Good afternoon, everybody. We've got Rassie Erasmus and Cobus Reinach. I've explained all the housekeeping. So yeah, please raise your hands for questions. Percy?
Zina, thank you so much for the opportunity. Good afternoon, gentlemen. Zina, I'll start with Afrikaans because I've only got one opportunity. My question is to Dr. Rassie Erasmus. Dr. Erasmus, kan ek hier vinnig vra, eerstens baie geluk en sterkte met die wedstryd wat voor lê en die mylpaal wat jy gaan bereik hierdie naweek. Net kortliks, wat maak Kolisi vir jou so besonder? Hoekom vertrou jy hom as 'n leier? En vir 'n oomblik net, wees 'n bietjie selfsugtig, praat 'n bietjie oor jouself. Geniet jy dit nog om jou werk te doen as nasionale afrigter van hierdie spesiale span van ons na 49 bykans 50 toetse hierdie naweek?
Ja, middag almal aan daai kant. Ja, ons doen Afrikaans, nee, Pus. Ek ben Afrikaans, nee. Ja,
Asseblief nie.
Ja, nee, seker. Nee, eerste ding is geniet ek dit nog natuurlik. Mense is as 'n groep trots om jou land te verteenwoordig. So vir ek is presies dieselfde as die spelers. Ja, die 50 dinge het ons nou eers die laaste 2-3 dae gesien. En ja, ek dink is mens vat saam met Jacques gecoach en saam met Heineke gecoach en saam met Pieter gecoach en ek dink 36 toetse gespeel, so ek verseker al 150 keer betrokke in 'n Springbok span of 'n kies of 'n team meeting of so. Nee, ja, die trotsheid om deel te wees van 'n Suid-Afrikaanse nasionale span. Ek dink in al ons sporte is dieselfde. Dan oor self, ek dink hy het seker toe ek hom begin coach het, nie by die Stormers nie, by die Springbok. Ek dink hy iets so is 25 caps gehad of so en hy's nou op 100 en ja, ek dink enigiets wat ek nou sê sal almal al reeds gesê het van hom. Hy's ou wat deur moeilike tye gegaan het toe hy youngster was en baie beserings al gehad het en seker baie keer bietjie homself gedoubt het in die begin toe hy kaptein geword het. Maar groei in die rol en definitief al ups and downs gehad. Want sy stint hier so in Frankryk was miskien nie van die beste nie en beserings vir al 2 World Cups wat ons gedink het hy gaan nie die World Cups gaan speel nie. En ek dink daar's iemand wat nou oor sy vorm heidaglik kan klaar reg nie. So alles wat na sy kant toe kom verdien hy 100%. Ons is trots dat ons saam met hom kon betrokke wees in sy 100ste game en ja, erns gaan dit stop vir ons almal. Vir my het dit gestop. Erns is 'n speler jy weet soos 'n ouer word, maar as hy ou bly perform en bly so goed speel, dan kan hy nie net sommer skielik sê ou het dit mee as hy nog op die veld perform. So baie bly vir hom, baie trots op hom en ons almal is baie trots om saam met hom betrokke te wees. Die eienskappe wat hy het, ek dink dis al genoeg gesê. Ons almal weet hy's nog dieselfde ou wat hy was toe hy miskien nie toe hy so kwai jong laaitie was nie, maar toe hy net in die Springbok team gekom het en miskien van die bank af gespeel het. En nou 'n oues wat dit kaptein is wat ons af en toe sap, jy weet, en hy aanvaar dit ook so ek dink hoe hy dieselfde mens gebly is seker een van die top dinge vir my.
Take the 4 hands that are up at the moment. Guys, that's all we can fit in the 10 minutes. Nathan?
Thank you very much, Zina. Firstly, congratulations, Rassie, on your 50th game as a Springbok coach. Rassie, what do you make of Fabian Galtier's antics only allowing us, the media and public, 50 minutes to view the training sessions? This, of course, comes after the media or they made accusations. There were spies around their training camps. Moreover, and I'm sure you saw the French league team that you made public on Twitter before they actually announced it. Does it somehow add to the mind games with Galtier being anxious and you living rent-free in his thoughts?
No, not at all. I mean, I know Fabian. I played against him. I think the last match we played at Parc de France or something. I can't remember the correct name. I played in that game and he was a scrum off there, so I know him for years. Actually, ironically enough, he came to well, not shadow. We had learned from each other at Munster. He shadowed us for a whole week, and he sat in every single meeting, team session, planning, coaches meetings in the morning, and after that, he became the French head coach. So I think people take mind games from our side. Definitely, everything we do, people see it mind games. What I'm trying to do when I put a team out there, and if you check, I just put our team and our weights and our caps and stuff out of there. That's for communicating with our South African supporters and for them to get a little bit more depth and insight into what our team looks like and how it compares to their team. And I think the South African supporters are really into it and understand it. And the more you give them, the more they, the more they understand. So what they do in their camp really doesn't have any influence what we do in our camp. We play for South Africa for the Springboks, and we play away from home, and it will be a lonely place on that field. But we know there's millions of people in South Africa. So what they do is got no influence on how we prepare and how we do our things.
Reinach? Stian?
Oh, thanks, Sina. Sorry. Hi, Rassie. So maybe just a bit about the selection, Rassie. Was this one of the more difficult teams to pick, given that so many guys are putting up their hands? And maybe just a thought about the front row with obviously Ox out, Bowen coming in there. Your thoughts behind that selection as well?
Yeah, I think very much. Hello. Very much the same like we did last week. Guy like Bowen has played already 5 test matches for us. And again, to put him there with Malcolm and Thomas, we'll rather let him swim in this tough river here, which is a great field where it's if, I almost said it the same with Zach when he played last weekend. You rather have him there in the start and see how he managed. We really rate Bowen highly. It's unfortunate that we lost Jan Hendrik being suspended, and then obviously also lost Ox with off the ball tackle, and unfortunately he's out for quite some time. Luckily Gerard is back, so certainly there was difficult choices. Leaving a guy like Ethan Hooker out of the mix, who's been really playing well. Kanan is really also playing well for us. When Krappies got his chance, he played awesome rugby. Quagga and Marco was 2 guys. Franco played excellent last week. So it's never easy to pick a team. But I think the team do understand that the guys know if things goes according to plan this weekend. Most of the guys know who's playing next week against Italy. So I think the squad is buying in what we're trying to do. Most important thing is now to try and get the result at a very tough stadium against a very good French team. Zie laat 'n bietjie langer team te gaan.
Seker.
Ja.
Steven?
Thanks very much, guys. It's nice to see you. Cobus, obviously the emotion is quite heavy from France for this game, and I guess it's understandable, because of the quarterfinal. Is that how do you guys handle that? What they're going to be throwing at you? Is that going to be tough for you to overcome, or do you take lessons maybe from the quarterfinal itself, where they were highly charged?
Yeah, I think they are going to be charged. They haven't forgotten about the 2023 World Cup, and so we haven't forgotten about it as well. It's a rugby game which we all look back to. We all learn out of it and try and prepare for the following game. So yes, they're going to be charged up, but their emotion and what they have in their camp, like Rassie said, cannot affect us. It cannot affect our way of preparing for the game and putting our plan on the field. So we know they're coming physically or going to come physically at us, and we have to be ready for it. It's not rocket science what is going to happen out there. It's going to be a huge battle.
Grant?
Thanks, Z. Russ, just a word on your 50th Sears 100th and what you feel separates a good Springbok from a great one.
Yeah, my 50th is really not a big thing. I mean, we haven't even mentioned it. We saw it the other 2 days ago in the media. So just to be part of the team for me is awesome, and part of being representing South Africa in whatever capacity it was in the past, from technical analyst to assistant coach to director of rugby. It's just really lucky to be in the Springbok environment with a lot of South Africans really behind us. So that's lekker. Sia's 100th test match, I think, there is only 9 guys that's played the 100th test match. I think he was on cap 25 when we picked him as captain. And yeah, the biggest thing that I can probably give him credit for, he's never always played brilliantly because, like all of us, your form dips and injury comes, and personal things happen to you, and sometimes you think with an injury, am I still good enough? I'm both World Cups. He was doubtful right up until the World Cup, but he always sit with Cobus at 35, playing probably 25 years old, playing probably the best rugby of his life, and so we're very proud of Sia. We're proud of being part of him reaching that milestone. But there's a lot of other guys that's close to milestones who's on 47 caps, 48 caps, 93 caps, 97 caps. So I think there's a lot of them that's going to come now. But at the end of the day, like Sia handled it and like Eben handled it, when those big milestones come, if you make those things bigger than the match, then you normally tend to come second in that match. So his humbleness is something that's just a standout for me always.
Mike?
And what separates a good Springbok from a great one?
It's understanding that, well, my opinion, I've not to say I'm right. I think there's a difference between playing for yourself because you're a Springbok and when you're playing for your country because you're a Springbok. And I think that's why some guys get 1-2 caps who's really potential, really maybe better than guys who's sitting here. And we've said it to the player often. I think there's better players than playing out there who's currently here in the squad. But some guys just don't get it, that it's about the team and about South Africa and not about how good am I in the team. Yes, when you do it for the team to perform well and you do everything and you serve the team, I probably think that's the difference between there can be great potential, but some guys just don't get it. I was one of them when I was a player at one stage. And some guys, it takes time to get it, and some guys just get it from the start. So I think that makes, in my opinion, the difference between a good and a great Springbok player.
Mike?
Rassie, you kind of answered what I was going to ask, but just, we've seen that these big milestone games can sometimes result in sideshows and distractions. Is that something you guys have discussed?
Yeah, well, so, Eben got his 100th and Willie got his 100th, and we managed to get through those. Obviously, we're playing tougher opposition. In Ari Savia's 100th at Eden Park, they managed to handle well and still beat us there with 7 points or whatever. So nothing has changed in our preparation. I think the only thing that will be different, Sia is going to run out 10 seconds earlier, and that's it. And then the test match starts. So we don't like to make a big thing about that. Afterwards, at the little team function, we'll probably do something proper. But no, Sia is probably one of the guys I've seen him throughout winning World Cups and Parisian Irish Lions and reaching other milestones. He's got a level head on him, and the whole team understands that nobody's going to be happy. We might lose even if we perform well, but as long as we go out there and the effort is there and the performance is there, but yeah, that will definitely not distract us.
Last question
Thanks.
online from Niso.
Thank you very much, Zina. Good afternoon, gentlemen at the top table. Quick two-pronged question, Rassie. Firstly, just to talk us through Kwaga's absence from the match day 23, and just talk us through Sia the human being. Just Sia, not the rugby player, but Sia the human being.
Yeah, I don't know quite what more to say about Sia as a human being. Yes, to sum it up, hopefully I get it across this time, it's just his way to stay humble. When there's photographs taken or at the airport or wherever, he's always the guy that still goes there, even though you're on your way to a flight or late for a meeting or you must get into the lift to a team meeting. He might be a minute or so late, but I think whenever he gets a chance, he tries to connect with South Africa because he understands what South Africa is about, and he's been on the tough side of being a South African, and he's grown into being one of the great leaders in South Africa. But just the humbleness with the way he does that, and the way he always has time from a young lighty to an old woman of the farm, or uncle there from the township, so old lady at the airport. Our whole team, I think, is pretty good at that. Not because they think it's their job, it's because they enjoy being part of South Africa and the way the South African supports us. And I think Sia leads in that specific way. What was the other part of your question? Sorry.
Kwagga, his absence from the 23.
No, yeah, Kwagga has a bit of a hand issue, but that's not really why we didn't pick him. He actually came through in the beginning of the week. He had a bit of a contusion, or I don't know what's the right English word, on his hand, on his palm, on his wrist.
Yeah.
But we just think with the team we thought they are going to pick. We think this is the best team for us to have a 5-6-2 split. But if this is the game that we feel is going to be really fast, they have some young guys in the team. Kwagga certainly has that energy, but we feel safe and Andre covering 12 for us as well, and covering 6 for us. And we know Sia can move to 8, or Peter Steff can move to 8 in the game for us. So Kwagga understands why this team we think is the team which we're going to try and beat the French with.
Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you, guys. I'll be sending out the recording after the news conference. Thank you very much.
Yeah.